Wow.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. I'm Clyde Whiting, and tonight we bring you our usual Friday night European Strength of Field race from the official iRacing Supercar series. This week it is week 10 from the I love, fantastic, awesome, brilliant, but can't drive it, Road Atlanta. In the booth with me tonight, I don't have Bill Switzer because he's off to some swanky do. But I do have Princess Pete. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. Good evening, everybody. Get a look at these cars while you can still see them.
Yes, we'll get into that in a little while. And doing the cameras and all the magic that you see on your screens is Mr. Sam Boozin. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. You don't have to say you can drive it. You can drive anywhere. So
He can crash anywhere, just like me.
Just like you.
Good
evening, everyone.
I really, this is a weird track for me. When I see it on a schedule, I dread going to it. Then
Why?
I don't know. It's just I must have had a bad experience there or something like that. And then after I've done 3 or 4 laps, I'm like, why do I hate this track? I love it. It's really good. But then I realise I can't drive it.
Which bits don't you get on with?
The corners.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
I'm really good. I'm really good on the straights.
Yeah.
But not so hot on the corners.
All right, okay. Well, at least you've only got like 13 of those to contest with.
But yeah, true. But I do. I think I've had a couple of good races, and I've probably had like one really horrible race. But what do you think of it, Pete?
I love it. I didn't. This was one of the very first tracks I ever learnt in a sim. Or rather racing game, because I think it was on Forza or something like that once upon a time, and I just find the whole rhythm of the track fantastic. I've done an endurance race around here which was hilarious, because it's only a 1 minute 20 lap in these cars and it's less in some of the high downforce cars. It's a blast all the way around it. The last turn and the first turn, there's 1,000 lines in there, and I take all 1,000 separately on a separate 1,000 laps. I've never ever followed the same line through them twice, but I just find it a really addictive track. I've had a win round here. I know that's shocking, and there were other cars involved in that race as well. That was in Star Mazda a few years ago. I just really like the track. I think it's not overly complicated, although it has complicated corners. It has, as Bill usually ends up saying, a little bit of everything, because it does. I have never ever driven it at night, like we're going to see tonight.
Yeah, and just to touch on that, while we're still in the qualifying session, it looks like something went wrong at iRacing Towers. Because for some unknown reason they've turned a track with 0 lighting into a night race, so it'll make it interesting. Just some hellos on the chat: Adam Wright, David Heavey, Jonas VW, Martin Brennan is with us, Nikolai Bogotyrev, Ben Cullen. So welcome everybody. We are we're getting towards the end of qualifying.
Yep.
Obviously the guys only get 2 laps, and then we've got a 36 lap race for you. Not a very big field. There's 16 registered, and one of those is disconnected. We have a feeling it's to do with the daylight savings cock up.
I also think that might be to do with strength of field, if you look at iRatings, but never mind.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a high strength of field, isn't it?
Yeah, that's enough to make anybody's hair curl, isn't it?
So, quickly, our unofficial championship that we've been running. I don't know whether Sam has got the scores, but I'm going to talk through them anyway. So, Tony Kloosterman is still leading the way. He has a 273-point lead over Vincent Skilbeck, who in turn leads Wayne Sanderson by 54 points. Marcus Bletz is a further 123 points behind. And then Marco Nemela is in 5th, 30 points behind Marcus Bletz. But we won't see Marco Nemela for a little while because he's got a knee operation coming up. So we wish him all the best for that, and we wish him a speedy recovery. But hopefully that means we get to get more no words out of him in the booth, Pete.
Yeah. It's it's going to be a very odd issue, to be perfectly honest. I think we've just ended qualifying.
Yeah, qualifying is just...
Sorry.
No, it hasn't finished yet. No, we've got about 30 seconds left. But
right, fair enough.
I don't think anybody's on the track.
There's not a single person on the track, actually. Two people, I should say, haven't set a time, along with a chap that manually disconnected from the session. So Ben Cullen's not posted a time, and Corey Allen haven't posted a time either.
And I was really looking forward to saying Daniel Pipitoni.
I knew you were. That's what you were saying before the session. Lord.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So, come on then. Pete, who's going to
win? This one's a proper lottery. I think whoever sets off second, so that's a Ascari Rin, according to this at the minute, will be able to follow the guy in the lead round, and they won't crash so much.
Okie dokie. Right, let's quickly run you through your shortened grid. So, Nicole Foggy took pole position, Ascari Rin second, Tony Kloosterman third, Sam Devantier fourth, Jeremy Rogers fifth, Vincent Skilbeck in sixth, Abdullah Amri AAA in seventh, Marco Lewert eighth, Marcus Bletz in ninth, and Woodward in 10th, Miro Hrasky in 11th, Gary Craig is in 12th, Ivan Batmans is in 13th, Ben Cullen 14th, and Corey Allen 15th. And I'm going to say it again, Daniel Pipitoni is a non-starter. Ivan Batman's just reminding the drivers about his experience of driving without headlights.
Yeah, and one thing to note, folks, for some reason, when the sun sets at Atlanta, it sets very quickly.
So, no Wayne Sanderson in the field. Lane has just asked him why he's not racing. And why is Lane not racing?
Yeah, cowards. Bigger yellow streaks only seen on diuretic camels.
Okay, lights are coming on.
We're gone.
Didn't hold them up. Good start.
Somebody didn't go.
Well, actually, yeah, I was going to say good start by Tony, but I think that was just a bad start from Ascari.
Yeah, because I had him pegged, didn't I? So I've just cursed him. Sorry, Ascari. Triple A.
Saved it.
That was a good save by him and Ascari, to be honest.
Did he get a nudge?
I don't know. So, and Woodward now dueling with AAA and has won that little duel.
Yeah, AAA needs to be sensible here after that slide on his tyres and just sort it out. So
yeah, that next turn we were heading at was the dangerous one where you end up spearing off to the left. So Ascari just didn't launch. Whoever that is that's stuck behind him there, that's unfortunate.
Is that going to be inside? There you go.
Yeah, the tag there.
Yeah, that was one of the VTS Germany cars.
Yeah, I think it was Marco Lower.
And then I think Ascari straightened him up.
Yeah, you give him a little helpful tap. That's good. So headlights are currently on, and I think by the time we get around the next two laps, it'll be fully dark. So Ben Cullen there chasing down Ant Woodward. Is that Ascari's made his way very efficiently to the back of the field nearly. It's only Corey Allen and Gary Craig behind. I don't know what happened to Gary Craig.
Yeah, Ascari's just gone wide there.
Very wide.
On the grass.
I've got no sector 4 time for Gary.
That's what happened to Gary.
We didn't see that, did we? So is that Ascari tangling?
Yeah,
Somebody new?
No. Well,
It was a bad rejoin. That's terrible from Ascari.
I'm not sure if that was a bad rejoin, Pete. I think there was a bit of Gary taking too much into that corner.
Do you think?
Yeah, I don't think...
I see it differently, so I think we're going to have to step away from it.
Yeah. I don't think he joined on the racing line, let's say that.
Right. I think his eagerness to rejoin and get some sort of position ended badly. But anyway, Vincent Skilbeck's done that move there on Marcus.
Yeah. Foggy's disappearing.
Yes, he is. I've seen this before. He's got form for disappearing down tracks, hasn't he? That's Ben and Ascari. So Ascari's making his way back through the field again. Marco Namela. See Ben Cullen's still got a candle lit in his inset picture there.
Yeah, David Healy's just told me off on the chat.
What's that for?
It doesn't matter if he rejoined on the racing line or not. That was awful.
Yeah, I agree with David. Sorry, go on, mate.
Lame O'Connor's got gout.
Oh. I was my vote would have been for Piles,
I would have gone for AIDS. So I think Triple A's got his tyres back.
Gary Craig's putting a move on Corey Allen. That's a done deal now.
Yeah, I hope I don't curse this, but Corey put in the chat that this is his first C-class race. And touch wood, on rubbing my head, he's being very sensible about it.
It seems to be, yeah. And if that is the case, then good on him, and good to get involved in this class of racing, especially this car. This thing will kill you without even thinking about it. Certainly not for the light-hearted. Oh, hang on.
That was Ascari putting a move on Ant Woodward.
Sorry, that did make me stop and stop talking. Here's Ant Woodward's feet for those with a foot fetish.
It's fun.
Fully flat.
So, why I was screwing on the chat and asking if I had food finish, and no, I'm showing Ant's food. Which is, well, sorry Ant, no more for today.
Yeah.
So, where's Ivan Batman's? Has he still got his headlights?
He is just, well, he's the next victim for Gary Craig in theory. He's a bit further back and, yeah, hopefully he doesn't switch his headlights off. Apparently he's got form for that according to his pre-race chat.
I didn't actually know you could turn them off.
Yeah, you can tether a button to your headlights.
Stealth mode.
I did it before just to see how dark this place was in the dark, and it's a special kind of black.
So Ant's now put the pressure on Miro Krasky.
He's going to struggle to get this done round the outside because
Yeah,
this has camber on the inside.
Yeah.
This one spits you out wide.
This was the worst one.
Yeah, definitely. And he's been spat out wide. I mean, it's you're better off letting them, trying to undercut them through that second of those two corners at the top end of the meat chop, the pork chop. As you haven't told the folks that this is known as the pork chop, this track.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was just reading a comment from Stuart Dick. He was going to race tonight, but when the lights go out, it's no fun. So 50p in the metre, son. 50p in the metre.
And I think that's why the attendance tonight isn't great, because honestly, driving around some of the night tracks, you might as well be driving around a day track, right? So like Daytona Road, it's lit up like the daytime because there's a million lights around it. Honestly, this has no lights, none at all. This is going to be ridiculous. We're on lap 6 of 36, so 30 laps to go. That'll be a 1x there for... Who's that at the front of that queue? Is that Marcus? Yeah, Marcus Bletz.
Yeah. So, Foggy...
Oh, Harry, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Just calm down. His car behaviour looks like a frustrated person, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or over-enthusiastic, like his ambition is outweighing something.
Finish.
Yeah, I mean that's a send, isn't it? Really, is he going to make that work on AAA or not? Yep.
I think AAA helped him to make it work, if I'm honest.
Yeah, maybe self-preservation kicked in for AAA. And certain tracks are great in the dark. Some of them. Are synonymous with night racing, like Le Mans, for instance. This one, not so much.
Yeah, I don't mind racing in the dark, if I'm honest. At least it means I'm not picking shadows as brake markers, because there aren't any.
Yeah, that was funny. That day was like, why do I keep crashing? And it's because the iRacing had updated with time, daylight, like fading, etc., and the shadows were moving on him. So, yeah, Gary Craig has now passed Ivan Bowman's for 13th, so he's now got to chase down either Ben Cullen or Ant Woodward if they're still scrapping. They are still scrapping. Yeah, been at that for a while, and these two have as well. This is further forward, obviously. This is Mark Aloha and Vincent Skillback.
There was a bit of a wheel bang there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a wheel bang, wasn't it? It was weird. Ben, straighten it up, son.
That's it.
That's good. Well done.
Live to fight another day.
Gary's made his way all the way back to 8th so far. He's got 6 more places before he gets back to where he started. He nearly pushed Marcus Bletz around those corners. I don't think you can bump draft this car, can you?
I doubt it. But he's got both the VTS guys in front of him now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gap to the next one, mind. He's had to fall back a bit going through those turns. But now he may get fully on the gas here. In fact, he's dropped back to a disadvantageous place, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Because he was stuffed right under his rear wing.
You know, as we usually say, though, you know, he's done a lot of catching up, so he's probably melted his tyres somewhat. And then you can back off for a lap or so and get some life back. So perhaps that's what he's doing.
Yep, absolutely.
He's having a go here.
He is. That's not an overtaking place normally, and that's why. That was ill-advised, is the way to describe that, to be honest.
I think that one was very clever.
No, I don't think Ascari's necessarily showering himself in glory tonight, but... I mean, you do have to take your opportunities. I just don't think that was one.
Yeah. If you're going to try something like that, you've got to stick right to the edge of the track, haven't you?
Yes.
And make sure that there isn't going to be any contact.
Absolutely right. So Marcus continues on his way eventually. So that's put Ant Woodward in front of him now. And Ben Cullen behind him. So Ben must have lost a fair amount of time in all that twisty bits.
That
Woodward.
was his spin, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
Or
what I was
half
kind of
spin.
referring to.
So we've lost Corey Allen, which is a shame.
Yeah, I didn't know he'd retired. I mean, he was still circulating. He was slower than many of the field, but that's because he's new to it. But
unless he's had a crash.
Yeah, I don't know what we're watching at the minute 'cause my screen's
That
gone
is Corey Allen.
Just run it to a
No,
stop.
he's just parked it.
That's very strange. That's a shame. We need new guys taking part in this, and hopefully that's not done his I rating or safety rating any particular damage. This is Ant Woodward chasing down Miro. Ant Woodward's back in his starting position of 10th.
Yeah, and Woodward's got the purple mood lighting in his car.
Was sported that before. That's another thing you can turn off.
Yeah. I'm surprised a little bit how the guys seem to be struggling with grip, because it's a nice cool track for them. So
it is, but Road Atlanta's never been high on the grip level, has it?
no, because normally we race it in the middle of the day, don't we? When it's like 5 million degrees. The track is 66 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment, which is like, nearly frosty.
Compared to some of the tracks you race, yeah. Oh dear. Gary losing it with a tyre off. And then now he has melted his tyres, hasn't he? You can tell from the behaviour of the rear of the car.
I'm guessing they're going to need a pit stop.
Yes. And pit stops are anywhere between lap 12 and lap 24 according to secret sources, but I think we share the same secret source.
Well, I would suggest that Ascari needs to get his butt in the bits then.
He would do that, yep. Definitely. Obviously this is an official race, folks, so there's no free repairs or anything like that going on. This is an official race for I rating and safety rating. For some reason, I thought Mr. Brennan was racing this car.
Why?
I don't know. Just thought he was.
No, he's signed up for the GT4s.
Yeah, I know. So this is currently our closest battle. This is Ascari again chasing down AAA.
Yeah, just waiting to see if he dives in the pit lane.
Well, this is the earliest he could do. He's far too wide to do pit lane doing that. He's definitely after the position rather than the pit stop. Meanwhile, in almost a different race, Nicole Foggy has a 5 and a bit seconds lead over Tony Kloosterman.
Yeah, he's certainly running away at the moment.
Yeah, big time. Sam Devantier is in third, 3.5 seconds behind Tony. We have Jeremy Rogers, 3 seconds behind Sam Devantier. And then you got quite a big jump, an 8-second jump nearly to Vincent Skilbeck, who we were watching earlier. Another 4 seconds back to Marco Loert. Then we've got this little battle. So you can see Marco there just disappearing over the horizon. And then these two duking it out yet again. Ascari likes to show his nose there, doesn't he? Even though he's about 3 days behind.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he's not going to send it, though, does it?
No, yeah, that's true.
Vincent Skilbeck doesn't seem to have pace round here, does he?
Not like he's had in other races. No, we've seen him right at the pointy end of the field a few times. So maybe this is just a track that either A, he just doesn't get on with, or B, he's not driven in the dark before, because, of course, he'll have been racing this on the Aussie servers this week in the daylight.
Like, yeah, he obviously doesn't eat enough carrots. Sam Devantier is a very steady driver. It's very rare that you see him have a bad race.
You've got a question on there, more for you than for me. From Richard Alsop, a bit random, but when does the new league session start again? Season start again? Is he referring to the AES6?
When does the new league season start again? I presume he is, and at the moment we don't know. Is the absolute honest answer? There's a few discussions going on in the background as to what we do with the league, and unfortunately I'm starting a new job as well, so I haven't got a great deal of time, so need to give it a couple of weeks for everything to calm down, and then we'll decide what we're doing. But if it goes again, it will be at some point in January, I would have thought.
Yeah, usually is, because we have a Christmas race of champions. What date is that, Clyde? I personally do forget. So
yeah, off the top of my head, I couldn't remember without digging it out. But we'll get Saturday's race out of the way, and then we'll start advertising that a bit more. See what interest we can get.
Oh dear, and sorry, that caught me out by surprise.
Yeah, I just see the red on the back and thought, oh no, it's Tony.
Right. Oh, he's taking the real gardener's route. That's going to be slow down heaven, that. He'll have to gather himself together, and he's now back behind Ben Cullen again.
And Ascari is in front of AAA.
I don't remember seeing that happen.
No, I didn't see that happen.
That was live, guys.
Was it really?
Yeah, you were just answering the question about the VS League, and it just
Right.
went
Oh,
live.
hang on, here we go. Stop him taking the mick out of us, Clyde.
Yeah,
Triple A
I'm
is
just
in the
gonna
pit.
show the replay just for you. But
Oh, if you would,
yeah,
that'd be ever so great.
AAA has stopped for Belgian fries.
Yeah.
There you go, 12th of December, at least Ben knows.
Oh, cheers, Ben. Even though you're driving.
And yes, sign-ups are still open for it. There is somewhere on Discord a document that tells you all about it. It's open to all the members of V8ESC, the BSTV GT4 TCR Challenge, and the VRA GTCC.
Right, so this is Tony. Whoa, that is fast into the pits. That is one of the best pit entries I've ever seen here.
well, did you really see it? Because it's pitch black.
It's pretty dark.
It's now you see it, now you don't. Now you see
Yeah.
it, now you don't.
I tell you what, where is Johnny Brandon because he was in the practice session.
He very rarely races the officials.
I know.
He's a
I
bit
think
of a
he's
girl.
scared. Yeah, he's scared of losing his I rating, isn't he?
Yeah. He's an I-rating whore. And Jonas is congratulating us on saying Belgian fries. Well, don't go too far because we know the secret.
Yeah, sore subject that.
There's nothing special about them. They're just chips.
It's taken us about 12 weeks to figure it out, but yeah, they are just chips.
And the Belgians have tried to claim them.
I think there should be English pan au chocolat. I think we can steal that just by putting our country name in front of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Are we winding Sam up yet, do you think?
Yes.
Oh, 2 wheels for the wheelie
Two
bin.
wheels for wheelie bins. That got Gary Craig very interested.
Yeah, he's on it now, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'll have a bit of that. He's not pitted yet, and a few cars, in fact, most of the cars around him have, so he's due in. And Vincent said, sorry, Gary, because I think it was a code brown from Gary's
Yeah.
point. We could really wind Chris Jackson up here, because he's asking how Tony's doing. We could say he's crashed about 40 times or something, yeah. But I'm not going to tell you, Chris. I'm going to let you wait until all the pit stops are finished.
All we heard was Jackson set up his shit, but I don't know what he was talking about.
Sam Devantier is now in the pits as well. He's pitted from 3rd place. So not pitted at the minute is our race leader, Nicole Foggy. Currently 2nd place with a nosebleed, Ben Cullen. And Ascari Rin in 4th at the moment, who's not pitted. Not according to my screen anyway. Gary Craig is now pitted.
Nicole Foggy is in the pits.
Ah, here we go, race leader in. It is weird when your lights are flashing here.
Yeah.
You can miss your
disappears.
lollipop man like that. That doesn't make any sense.
It's almost better to not have your pit limiter on.
Yeah. Track
Because-
black, track black, track black.
He's managed to stop it in his box. Ooh, matron. I mean, he had a comfortable lead, it has to be said.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still going to come out in first, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
There's Ben.
Yeah, Ben, not pitted. Must think his relative screen is broken at the moment.
Do we think Foggy might have took an extra couple of gallons because of his broken calculator?
He has been the victim of his own bad calculations on fuel before. That's absolutely correct. Yes, I reckon is the answer to that, without a doubt. He's still got 4.35 seconds over Tony Kloosterman. Ben's going to let Tony go because he knows he's out of step, I'm going to guess. Yeah, that's a very easily done deal. Good effort, Ben.
Yeah, what's good from Ben is that he has the best spotters in the history of sim racing.
Yeah, he's got the full commentary team.
Exactly.
I'd ask him to flash his lights, but it might make him crash because the track disappears. Clearly Ben is running it right to the end. I think you can get to 24 laps before you have to pit, as in you're going to run out of fuel. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, well, Sam Devantier is going to be on him soon.
I don't know if Lane's saying that Foggy's told him that he's hoping his calculations are correct or not. Or whether he's just laughing at us.
Now, Ivan Batman's is the other car that hasn't pitted yet.
The car looks relatively untouched or completely untouched at the moment, which is good. There's not a lot of cars out there that can say that at the moment. Oh, Ben's in.
Yeah, Ben's in. So interesting. We saw Oscari Rin in front of Triple A.
We did, yeah.
Have a look where he is now.
That's weird. Oh, did he have, do you think, some required repairs that's held him in his pit box?
Possibly.
He doesn't join us for interviews, does he?
He has a couple of times, hasn't he?
Oh, right, okay. I don't remember that, but no man, it might have been because I was doing other stuff like daydreaming. I do that a lot.
Or eating.
Eating, that's always a good one as well, yeah. This is exceptionally close here. This is Ascari chasing down Ant Woodward. And still holding damage because, as I pointed out before, for those not affiliated with iRacing, this is an official race. There's no fast repairs. If you want your car to look brand spanking new, you have to sit there and get the damage repaired.
Stay in the pit lane.
Or stay in the pit lane, yeah, for the whole race, like I've done before.
Well, tonight, don't go anywhere near Oscar. Okay, Ivan Batman's last person to pit is in now.
Okay, Ant's not letting this go. He's fighting this one.
You get good drive on the outside here.
You do, yeah. Still not letting him go though. Ant's putting up a good fight. A little too much. Ant's run wide there in his efforts to try and stay ahead, or get back on terms with him rather. I mean, there's no doubting that Ascari's fast. It's just, I don't think he's done himself any favours with his overtakes.
No, there seems to be two Ascaris, doesn't there? There's the one that we've seen tonight who's impatient and going for moves that are not on and dodgy rejoins and all the rest.
Yep.
And then the next two races, it's a pleasure to watch. You know, some of the moves that he does.
Oh,
and...
No. Oh, good save, Ant. You're totally right. The last time out, he was brilliant to watch.
Yeah.
Very strange. So somewhere in the darkness here is Nicole Foggy. Hopefully we'll stay with him for the rest of this lap. So you tuck it in here and hope you don't smear off with what is that? Into the wall on the left. Thank you. Understeer.
Overturn?
I lost all the will to live apparently. That corner's horrible. You just have to hope that you're turning in correctly. And then fire it down this straight. There's not a lot to this track, and you get around it in 1 minute and 19 seconds if you're in the car with Foggy. Blast it around this corner, stay to the right because your next turn is left. Find your braking point, whatever that is, drive through the smoke here. You can cut a lot of that corner and a little of that corner. And then over the hill, you're turning blind over here and hoping you end up on the right line at the edge of the track. And then tuck it in, get a bit of curve, maybe in certain cars. This one doesn't react too well unless you're very skilled like Foggy. And then tuck it into here, third gear, hold very carefully on the revs, fire it up the hill, and then second gear here on a blind top corner, and then down through the S's. We're nearly about where we started. Hold the gas, be careful, and then curb, curb, and curb. And then we're back where we started again, so that was good.
And evening to Stacey number 2 on the chat.
Oh, hello, Stacey. Yeah, Woody needs to get his freak on. What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? Marcus Blatt.
That looked like another coming together with them two.
It did. Who was flashing their lights? Do you know?
Ascari was flashing his lights.
Right. Be interesting to see what that was all about. We're on board with Ascari now. I mean, he is clearly quicker than Marcus, but that's expected. Ascari qualified in 2nd place.
Yeah, but the onus is still on him to make the move
Cleanly, yeah.
Very quietly for some reason. Then I don't know why.
I think I've infected you with wrong word syndrome or something. Marcus has let him go this time and flashed him. Yeah. To return the favour of the flashing lights.
Yeah, I was about to say, Oscar, you has to be happy it's not me behind him, because I would flash my lights until the day's end.
And I think Marcus is listening to you.
Yeah, because I really hate light flashing.
For those with epilepsy, I'd look away now.
Oh, Stacey number 1 is on the chat as well now.
That just reminds me of Austin Powers. Number 1. Anybody used to take a number 2. Oh, that was Beavis and Butthead back in the day, wasn't it? Yeah. For those of you that remember that.
She said she just got in from work. I thought all the strip clubs were closed down.
Oh! Fighting talk. Shots fired from Clyde Whiting. Bumpy going through there. Who's that? Ben Cullen. That's all his fillings falling out.
So
And
next
Marcus
on,
is still flashing.
He's still going around flashing his lights. Eventually that'll be detrimental to him because the track just vanishes.
and then Oscari's got Marcus's teammate Marco in front of him. And I'm pretty sure those two will be talking to each other on the chat. So I expect to see some more flashing lights.
So this is Foggy making his way through the lower places in the field. He has a 10-second lead over Tony.
That's Miro Graski in front of him.
It is, yeah. Another imperious performance from Foggy. You're banned from Stacey's club. You'll be really gutted about that, won't you? Oh, hang on, that's Marcus Blatt.
That is, and he's just lost 2 places there.
Yeah, he might lose. No, he won't lose third. Third place is 28 seconds back down the road.
Yeah, and Woodward and Ben Cullen went past him.
Yeah. Now, is that Gary Craig closing in on Miro?
Yeah, he's almost on the same piece of track.
Yeah. He's definitely closing that gap down.
I think he was possibly a bit closer, but with Foggy coming through.
Yeah, Ivan Bauman's is a lap down from Gary, so that doesn't count.
No,
Ivan's
that's
done a
Gary's
good job.
target in front now.
Yeah. So the first of the cars in front is Miro, his next target. The one in front is Foggy, who's light years ahead at the minute. Look at the behaviour of both these cars. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Sideways through that last corner. It's funny, isn't it? Because you see someone like Foggy, he's super smooth through all the corners, really, isn't he? You don't see the back end stepping out, etc. He is unbelievably fast. And then Ascari is clearly unbelievably fast as well. But his style is to step the car out.
Totally different style, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's brave.
That is super brave.
And he backed out of that.
Yep.
Got a run here, but you can't do nothing with it there.
Actually quite a good camera angle that Sam's chosen there, isn't it? Because the lights actually work from the blimp cam, or the chopper rather.
Oh,
That was done all under braking. Now, this is Ascari's real opportunity, isn't it? Because Slipstream City down this back straight, but if Marco stays left, it puts Ascari to the right. Oh, that's probably early from Marco, and enables Ascari to do that. So I'd have probably stayed left for a lot longer and forced Ascari to go right again, and it puts him on the wrong line for the next corner.
yeah. He was very good on the brakes there, wasn't he, Ascari?
Yeah, that does also mean that I would have crashed at the end of the straight anyway, and therefore all points would have been moot.
So Ascari is now on the hunt for Triple A. Gary Craig still behind Miro Bresky. Foggy still over 10 seconds in the lead. Ben and Ant haven't been too far away from each other all race, have they?
No, they keep coming together and then drifting apart with other people getting in the way. Thought you weren't showing Ant's feet anymore, Sam.
Got to, he's got a fetish.
Well, yeah. Oh, it's gone.
It was for Stacy, in fact.
Oh,
not for
sorry.
me.
Right, okay, yeah.
Was, yeah, you know.
Doing it for
I have
Stacey.
to please everybody.
Yeah.
I think Stacey's probably seen enough of his food.
Yeah. So we have just tripped over to lap 30 of 36. There's not a great deal left of this race, and it's gone very, very quickly in the dark at Road Atlanta. Ben Cullen still trying to chase down Ant Woodward. Ben Cullen's our furthest forward mover, if you notice. He's moved forward 4 places from the start. That's often what happens with Ben, isn't it? He doesn't. Well, he didn't even attempt to qualify this time, did he?
No, he didn't set a time, did he? So he doesn't mind starting at the back.
I'm not saying that, Sam. I'll let Clyde.
So, have you got a message? Yeah, well, let's just say, Ben, I would never talk to Sam again if I was you. After what he just said.
It's funny, isn't it, that the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places have not altered all race. The only thing that's different is Ascari had that incident on the first lap, or incidents.
Well, yeah, the terrible started off, didn't it?
It did, and he's the only one of the top 6, 7 that has moved anywhere, forward or backward.
Yeah, I think Sam Davantier is slowly closing on Tony Clouston. There may be a battle there at the end.
Actually, he's not that far off, 1.3 seconds. How has that happened?
No, you're wrong again, guys. This is Jeremy Rogers.
Oh, it's Jeremy Rogers'
Sam.
gap to Sam. Yeah, sorry.
I will be brave, Ben.
Yeah. It's a good job you know what you're talking about, Sam. So if it was left to me and Clyde, we'd have no idea whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about. It was private chat. You didn't have to tell anything to Ben.
I want to know how Ben manages to type stuff while he's racing.
It took him almost a lap to write this one.
Fair enough.
You were talking about this 1 lap ago. He only posted now on the chat, so it's a bit complicated for him to talk on this track, but still, it's.
Yeah, I want him to type out. The next thing I want him to type out is the news headlines for tomorrow morning. Yeah, Jeremy Rogers is definitely closing Sam Davantier down, Clyde. That's come down half a second in just about a lap. So has Sam lost his tyres?
Quite possibly. Did he under fuel? Jeremy can see that podium place in front of him.
Something weird just happened on my timing screen where Ben Cullen jumped ahead of Marcus Blett. Very strange.
Been ahead of him for ages.
Alright, it's just my timing screen then. Just being weird.
Marcus had a little run off wide, didn't he? And
he did, yeah.
Ben Cullen went past him.
Yeah. Gary Craig really is closing down Miro Razki now. He's caught the scent and he's after him. He's within a second just.
Yeah, that's been going on for about 10 laps, so that's the trouble.
Yeah, and if Gary can time letting Tony through at this point to his advantage, where it doesn't impede him at all, but it does impede Miro, then he might benefit somewhere along the line. He's let him go now. If he can tuck into Tony's slipstream on the back straight here, after getting a decent drive off this horrible corner to start this back straight, he may gain an advantage. I mean, he's had to drop to 1.8 seconds, but that could come back quite quick.
He's running out of laps, so there's only 2 laps to go.
Oh, there is, yes, you're right. Yeah. Wentwood was a bit out of shape there. Ben Cullen's caught the scent of that one. What's going on here? Oh, right, and Woodward got it very wrong. Not enough off track to make a slowdown, I don't think. And here comes Ben. Ben's on the wrong side here, unless he can get a clear car length ahead, which he's not going to do now because he's hit the wall of air.
Oh,
I don't know. He might. He might. He's out braking. Oh, no, he's not. No, he's not.
No, and
really good, isn't he?
Ready, yeah.
Wow. I mean, we've seen his feet on the screen. He is good at doing that. Toe heel, isn't he?
Yeah, at one point there, that looked done and dusted, didn't it?
It did, and like Ant's really good at doing that. Well, 2-foot braking, accelerating, trail braking thing. And look at the gap he's forged already. I mean, that's significant, isn't it? That's like 6 car lengths or something.
Yeah, leaders on the last lap.
Wow, that happened quick.
Jeremy's right up with Sam now, but he's only got one more lap to get it done.
Yeah, and I don't think there's enough in that, to be honest.
No, I think he's going to need a mistake, isn't he, from Sam?
Definitely, and I don't think that's coming because Sam, we've seen.
I don't know, it was close there.
It was 2 very different lines into that first corner. I think it was the first corner. No, it wasn't the first corner, was it? Oh, hang on. I think we just cursed Sam Devantier somehow.
Didn't we? We did.
Yeah. That was the top of the hill, wasn't it, at the chicane?
Yeah, so when you watch this back, Jeremy, you owe us.
Yep. We accept used currency in non-sequential notes.
None of that American monopoly money.
Yeah, what's that about? It's rubbish. Johnny Brandon's asking, is Tony low on fuel? Why would he be asking that? Is he dropped back towards Jeremy Rogers?
No, I don't. Well...
Or is that Johnny
he has lost, well, he's lost a couple of seconds, but I think, to be honest, I think Nicole Foggy is just making everybody look slow. Or made everybody look slow because he's finished. Runaway win for Nicole Foggy.
I think his back leg bum problems or whatever it was, I think they're made up.
What's that pile cushion I said?
Yeah, the donut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tony Kloosman comes home in second. Jeremy Rogers gets that 3rd place on the podium. Sam Devantier in 4th, Vincent Skilbeck in 5th.
Get one into Ascari, he's dropped places.
He has.
Lots of places. I think.
He's just dropped 2.
2, right.
And Woodward and Ben Cullen have gone past him.
And he's let Marco Loert go.
And Marcus Blitz.
That's weird. Has he run out of fuel?
He's out of fuel.
Wow.
Well, I think he's out of fuel.
I think so as well. If we can get on board with him over those last couple of corners, we'll know.
He's certainly saving, isn't he?
Yeah. Not started coughing yet. Oh, he is really bad on that one.
Short shifted.
Yep.
So early there.
Be on like 0.2 fuel or something at this point. Oh, it's coughing now. There we go. Yeah. Right, fully out now.
Yep, so that's definitely what it was.
Answers that then. Oh, and he lost another one to the other VTS car just right at the very last second. That's a shame.
No, I think if I was Ascari, I'd said, no, I didn't run out of fuel. I just slowed down because, we had a few issues in that race. So I thought I'd let you go.
Get out
The
of that
way
session.
to do it, isn't it?
It is.
Right. So, I enjoyed that race. Weird. Road America in the dark.
Certainly is.
You can't take nothing away from Nicole Foggy, piles or no piles. It was a masterclass from him. Tony Kloosterman, quite comfortable in second place, and then unfortunately we put the mockers on Sam Devantier near the end, and Jerry Rogers got the third place.
Yep. Fascinating race. I have never yet seen. Have I paused the stream, or is the stream stuck?
It stopped.
Yeah, it stopped. Any issue with that? I'm waiting for the interviews.
That's hilarious. Right, okay, yeah. Fascinating race. I've never seen Road Atlanta in the dark. Are we gonna? Do you want me? I'll go through the field, shall I?
Go through that, and then we'll get the interviews in.
Yeah. So your race winner by a whopping 18 seconds was Nicole Foggy. In second was Tony Kloosterman. Third was Jeremy Rogers. Fourth was Sam Devantier. Vincent Skilbeck was fifth with Abdul Al Amri AAA in sixth. Ant Woodward in seventh with Ben Cullen eighth. Ninth was Marco Loert. 10th was Marcus Bletz. 11th was the out of fuel Ascari Rin. 12th was Miro Hrasky. Gary Craig came back 13th with Ivan Bowmans following him in 14th. Corey Allen quit a while back but finished effectively 16th, and did not start was Danielle Pipitoni.
Excellent. Right, so we haven't got Nicole Foggy in the chat, so let's bring in our second place finisher for you, Pete, Tony Kloosterman. Welcome to the booth.
Yeah, good evening and a great evening, Tony Kloosterman. Whilst Nicole disappeared off into the distance, it was going to be a challenging race anyway, wasn't it? Because it was dark, and second place is a fantastic finish.
That after what happened last night.
Right. You're going to have to explain that to me, because what happened last night?
Oh, that was just terrible. Just terrible.
Right. Was this a redemption race, was it?
Yes, it was, for sure.
Cool. So the times that we did see you were completely in control. Ascari did not get away well, and it got worse and worse for him as the race went on. He eventually ran out of fuel. Did you think that he would be a challenge to the podiums?
Oh yeah, his speed the last few weeks has shown that he's capable of being up there, and obviously qualified very well. Didn't get a good start. He confused me though when after my pit stop, because he was 20 some odd seconds behind me, and then after one lap after my pit stop, he was right on my rear end, and I'm thinking to myself, what happened there?
That's weird. We're clearly prepared for the dark, but if you raced last night, then you knew what you were getting into. It goes absolutely black, doesn't it? I joined the European practice session before, and Gary Craig had already tipped me off that it was a challenge. I ended up tethering a button to my headlights and turning them off. And to say it goes black, but there's no features visible, is there?
No, it's like they turn the switch off. It's like turning the lights off in a room all of a sudden. And so just around the 20-minute mark of the race or so, maybe about 15, 16 laps in, and it's if you're not prepared for it, it's a bit of a shock. It really is difficult to find your turning points.
But you seem to find them pretty good. You did some fantastic lap times, it has to be said. Your fastest in that session was a 1 minute 19.75. That's got to be quite up there, really, for a night race at Road Atlanta that I've never seen ever before. I've never driven in the dark here before. Have you driven here before in the dark?
At dusk, maybe a little bit, but there was still some light. And the lap times were good. I have to thank Greg Carr. Greg had a different setup than I ran last night, and I tried it this morning, made a couple of small adjustments, and it certainly suited me a lot better than what I'd been using. So thanks to Greg.
No, a great performance. Anybody you'd like to shout out to before we let you go? Other than Greg, obviously.
The guys on the team, everybody contributes. Race Tech for sponsoring our main series, and thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. As always, they're a pleasure to watch afterwards.
Yeah, it wasn't many racing tonight, but it's understandable, really, isn't it? It's an IR and an SR sacrifice to racing the dark around here, I think, unless you're particularly skilled. So thank you very much. Our second place finisher, Tony Klusterman.
Take care, guys.
Okay, so next up, let's bring in our third step on the podium finisher, Jeremy Rogers. Welcome to the booth.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Now, I'm going to let you into a little secret, but you got to promise not to tell anybody. So, you was catching Sam, and there was a couple of laps left, and we said, no, there's no way Jeremy is going to get past Sam unless Sam makes a mistake. And then Sam made a mistake. So we actually got that third place for you. So you can thank us whenever you feel like it.
And transfer the cash whenever you want to.
Well, thank you guys, because I completely agreed. I had no chance to do anything with them. I was very, very slowly.
But on a more serious side, you certainly had some pace round Road Atlanta in the dark. Vincent Skilbeck, you managed to leave him behind. You obviously caught up Sam, even though it didn't look like you was going to get past him. So it obviously wasn't as bad for you as it was for other people.
I think that I've done a few more races than Sam this week, so I think it's merely down to a little bit more experience for the edge there.
And has your racing this week been in the dark, or has it been on the daytime server?
It's been mostly in the dark, so that's probably what did it. Sam is a better V8 Supercars driver than I am, so the fact that I had to have made it up somewhere, then it's likely experience.
Yeah. So, was there any standout moments for you apart from that pass on Sam near the end? Because it seemed that you was in a bit of a safe gap for most of that race.
Yeah, that's pretty much right. Other than turn one, I mean, the run down to turn one was kind of hairy, and then it was just I was in a giant bubble until the end of the race.
And Oscari Rin had a terrible start. Did that affect you? Did you see what was going on and manage to get onto the track where you wanted to be, or did that throw you off a little bit?
So I saw Oscari get a bad start, and so I moved over a little bit to try and give Sam some room up the middle, but he came over further than I thought. And he kind of was sitting in a blind spot for me where I couldn't see him on my third monitor. So I had to take turn one very skinny, which I probably took a little slowly, which may have bottlenecked things behind me. I saw AAA in a big slide back there, but looking back at the replay, I'm not entirely certain it's my fault. I apologize if it is, but I can't quite tell.
Yeah, don't admit to anything, mate. Don't just say no. I wasn't even racing. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Congratulations on your podium finish. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
No, just Sam. He and I were talking on the Discord, and thank you to you guys for doing the broadcast.
No problems at all. And we've got 2 races left this season. Are you likely to be with us for those 2?
Potentially. It depends on my girlfriend's work schedule.
Okie dokie. Well, hopefully we'll see you. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us in the booth. Third place finisher, Jeremy Rogers.
Thank you guys. Very unexpected third place here.
He's clearly under the thumb then, isn't he?
Oh, without a doubt, yes.
Oh, the whole hand?
Right, so next, let's bring in our favourite Australian. Until Vincent gets in here, then we'll say
totally.
Sam Devantier, fourth place for you, Pete. And whatever you do, don't tell him that we cursed him.
Yeah, I looked back at the footage and you may have said I got a curse, so thanks.
Yeah, did it come up on your relative? One curse heading your way. 3 seconds.
Yeah.
We did say towards the end of the race when we saw Jeremy had closed the gap a little, and then we said, do you think he's going to get Sam? And we both agreed instantly. Honestly, it's waiting for Sam to make a mistake. Before the sentence had even finished, you stuck to the grass, and we were like, oh my God, we've just cursed him. What's going on here? What happened at that bit?
Me missing the breaking point.
Oh, right. It was as simple as that, yeah?
Yeah, I don't like racing in the dark because the Aussie server, it's sunrise.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Have you been practicing this in the daylight?
Yes, I have.
Right, okay. And did you know that this was in a different time setting?
Well, at the start of the week, I was like, hold on, why is this dark? For starters.
So, is this the first race you've done on the American server?
Yes.
Right, okay. So you wouldn't have been expecting it necessarily to be sunset into darkness?
Well, I did practice laps, and then, yeah, I thought they would change it, but no, they didn't.
Right, well, to be honest, given the strength of field, I know you've got a pretty hefty high I rating anyway, but you've done a fantastic job then to finish fourth, and arguably you probably should have finished third if it wasn't for missing your break point. What?
Or give me the curse.
Oh yeah, or yeah. Well, we're trying to get past that. Yeah, just let it go. So yeah. Any other standout moments for you in that race, other than doing Jeremy from no, not Jeremy. Who was it? Ascari. Because you were the first car past Ascari, weren't you? I bet that was Code Brown straight off the line, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Code Brown. And then I look at my mirrors, it was like Carnage 3 wide behind. I was like, thank God I missed that.
Yeah, bad behind you. But you got through it, so that's good. Any other standout moments?
No, not really. It's not easy to race around here. In this thing, it's impossible. And plus in the dark, yeah, it's a nightmare. It's scary.
I mean, I love this track. It's my number one actually on the service. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but there you go. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go back to daylight racing?
Probably you guys, obviously, because you put the broadcast on. Hopefully, put a good show on for you guys. I think, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, we are fantastic, by the way. Just thought I'd point that out. Thank you very much. Our fourth place finisher, Sam Devantier.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop.
Right, I got hold of him then, and he already got rid of himself, and then I didn't know whether to let go or not, whether that would be me and make me laugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up, let's get in our fifth place finisher and favourite Australian, Vincent Skilbeck.
Morning, fellas.
Hello, how the devil are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Right, so let's my perspective of your race was you either hate Road Atlanta or you don't eat enough carrots and couldn't see in the dark, because we didn't see the usual speed from you that we've seen at other tracks. Is that a fair comment?
The carrot bit probably is actually right. I do like Road Atlanta, but yeah, I was struggling at the end to just find my turning points and braking markers there. Yeah.
And obviously, we've just been talking to Sam, and because of the iRacing cock-up. Obviously, you guys are racing this track in the daylight, and we're racing it at night. So that certainly doesn't help, does it?
No, it doesn't. But I've done a few. Well, I did one race yesterday, and it was in the dark, but that didn't kind of turn out too well because I had an early incident. But this track's just hard in the dark, I reckon. But yeah.
And to be honest, we didn't see much of you tonight because you was a little bit behind Sam. You've obviously finished a bit in front of AAA, and the people behind you kept changing. So we had who did we have up there? We had Oscari Rin up there at one point. So even though it was a night race, and you probably hoped to be a bit further up the grid, you wasn't constantly under pressure, was you?
Yeah, no, it was pretty much a boring race for me after the start. Because, I just got caught up behind Ascari's bad start and everyone jumped me. So once I got past Marco and AAA, I think it may have been, I had just clear air and the others had just driven off on me. So I just couldn't really catch them back. But yeah, I was hoping to be up with Jeremy and Sam racing with them, but I just didn't have the pace to catch back up to them.
Yeah, I think obviously Nicole Foggy was class of his own tonight. Next week we go to Sebring, probably my favourite track, maybe. What do you think of Sebring with the bumps and the surface changes and everything else that goes on there?
The track I like, but not really driven it with the V8 all that much. So it'll be interesting. I might have to set my car up a little bit differently with softer suspension just to deal with the bumps. But yeah, I might do all right. It sounds like it's going to be another night race again, so which will be interesting. But at least Sebring's got track lights at the edge that you can see, so you don't run off.
Yeah. It's obviously there are a lot of endurance races go on there. I'm just having a quick look. Session starts at 5:30 sim time, so it looks like it's going to be another
night race
sunset into night, isn't it? So that could be interesting. So get some carrots down your neck this week, and then you'll be able to see in the dark. Before we let you go, Vincent, anybody you'd like to thank?
You guys for the broadcast and just everyone at Wheelie Wins and the ones that support us to help us give sessions every night. So thanks to those guys.
Excellent. Well, thanks as usual for coming in and having a chat and getting up in the morning and racing with us on a European strength of field night. And congratulations on your 5th place, Vincent Skillbeck.
There you guys.
Nearly called him Vincent Skilby there because his name always throws me in Discord.
Yeah, that's what it's in at Discord as.
Yeah. Okay. So last but not least, we have our favourite German.
Good evening, Marco.
Tonight.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm pissed about myself.
About yourself, right? Okay.
Yeah, I did a mistake in the last lap.
You're gonna have to tell us about that. That sounds fantastic. For us, not you. Tell us about that before I talk about battles with Ascari, Ben Cullen, and everybody else who you were locking horns with.
Yeah, I had Ant and Ben Cullen behind me, and Ascari was in front of me, and he was very slow. I think he had no fuel or so.
Yeah, he had nothing left at the end.
Yeah, and I overtake him at the outside at the turn 1, and then I had understeer and came in the grass, and Ant and Ben could overtake me. And then in the last chicane, I tried to make the overtake at least Oscari, and I got a time penalty, and nearly Marcus overtook me because I did not want to have again a black flag like it happened in Canada.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes much more sense now that you've explained it, because when we were on board with Ascari as he was running out of fuel, and I did think, hang on a minute, why are those two VTS cars so close to each other? A, and why does it look like Marcus has passed before Marco has passed? And that explains all of that now. So thank you very much. You had a great race though up until that point. You were in the thick of it for quite a long time, weren't you?
Yeah, I like the track,
Mm.
but I practice a lot in the dark. But now, if it got dark on the back straight, the U-turn, in the second one I missed several times my turning point, and last time then, yeah. And after Oscari overtook me, I just followed him. Then it went better again. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But generally, I like the track, and it was fun.
I mean, I've never raced it in the dark until I joined in the practice session that you were in earlier. It is absolutely, unbelievably difficult to drive in the dark, isn't it? Because there's no lights at all.
Yeah, it's like someone switched off the light.
Yeah, was it you that was flashing? Was it you that was flashing down Ascari for about 2 laps?
No,
or was that Marco?
that was
Marcus. Sorry.
Yeah, I was
That was
flashing,
you.
but I did this for you.
Hey,
Yeah.
good lad. Thank you very much. That's genius. Anybody you'd like to have a thank before we let you go? And I mean, you probably did get some I rating at that position, didn't you?
No, -9.
-9, really? That
Yeah.
must have been right on the bubble then. Well, that's a shame. But anybody you'd like to thank anyway?
I thank my team and you for the broadcast, and the Racetesh, and we see us tomorrow, I think.
Yeah.
In Watkins Glen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. And we already know we are absolutely fantastic in BSTV. So thanks for reassuring all the viewers that is the case. Thank you very much for tonight. It's been a fantastic night watching you race. 9th place finisher, Marco Loert.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye now.
Okay, so that is the interviews over. I'm just thinking about the numerous times that I've cocked up servers. And it always seems to be that when there's an error in the server, for some reason you get a good race out of it.
I think it's because it levels the field, Clyde.
Yeah, you could be right. We didn't have the greatest of turnouts tonight, but we expected that with the night race at a place that you shouldn't really be racing at night. But there was some fantastic battles. A masterclass from Nicole Foggy, who seemed to be the only one that didn't really struggle with the nighttime conditions, but. Interesting to hear from the drivers in the interviews just how difficult that was in the dark.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I did some practice laps with Gary, and a few of them, Marco being one of them, earlier. It is really hard. I'm not going to lie. I think I found it a little easier. I don't know why. Maybe the brightness is higher on my screens than what Gary had. But it was still difficult. It is very strange racing on a track that you're used to driving in the light, because you're looking for particular markers and they're not there in the dark. But when you're at Sebring with the cat's eyes that are either side of you, you become used to that very quickly. When there's nothing at all, it's very, very strange.
Yeah, it's you've either got to be early on the brakes, haven't you, or brave, mad. Sam, from your point of view on the cameras, there was certainly plenty of action tonight.
Well, apart from the start, it was okay. But yeah, just the start were really busy with the bad start from Ascari, then the AAA small incident, and all the passes that happened on the first lap. But yeah, after that, a bit quiet race tonight, which is
Yeah,
I appreciate.
calmed down a bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
But then, as we always see, cars just manage to find themselves in on the same piece of track. So I thought that was a good race. I just hope we get other Ascari back next week. So what have we got coming up for you on BSTV? So tomorrow we have the season finale of the Racetech V8 ESC Cup, 3 super sprint races from Watkins Glen. That's bound to be very, very mad and very, very interesting. Then on Wednesday, we have round 11 of the GT4 TCR Cup. Absolutely fantastic league. We've got drivers joining every week now. We still have places available. So if you fancy that, Suzuka on Wednesday, that's bound to be fun. And then next Friday, as we said, we are at Sebring. It's going to be another night race for the European Strength of Field in the V8s. And then next Sunday, we're back in VRA GTCC action from Spa. So plenty of racing coming up on this channel. And to make sure you don't miss it, first off, give us a like for this video. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on our Facebook page, and then you'll never miss anything again. I'd like to thank the drivers that turned up tonight, especially Nicole Foggy for his masterclass. Everybody on the chat, as we always say, we really enjoy that, even when you're being, shall we say, pedantic. That's a nice way of putting it. But we do appreciate that. It's always good. And thanks to Pete, thanks to Sam. Hope Bill's enjoying himself at his shindig. And I shall say good night. Let the guys say good night, and we'll call it a day. So good night, everybody.
Yeah, brilliant race night. Tune in tomorrow. More V8s in action. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night from me as well. See you tomorrow for the last V8 ESC for this season. Will be great. 2 reverse grid, Clyde. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Watkins Glen, so Crush is turn 1. Tune in. See you tomorrow.